My 27M dad accidentally pushed my fiance 28M's mom. He beat my dad up and broke up with me. I met my ex in college. We clicked since day one and we never looked back. We had the most amazing relationship. He is a great man and want nothing but the best for him. He helped me to recover from an eating disorder I had struggled since high school, and always made me his priority. Sadly, my parents did not like him because someone from his country, they are not related, friends, cheated on my older sister multiple times and gave the family a tough time. I know it is stupid and even racist to some degree, but that is how my parents are. Anyways, my ex was not their favorite person and they always try to convince me to break up with him. My ex knew about this situation, but always treated my parents with respect and tried to get to know them and get closer to the family multiple times. My mom was a bit more receptive than my dad, but my attempts to bring them together were not successful. We got engaged this January and plan to get married this upcoming summer 2022. My little brother, he is 9, absolutely loves him. My ex was and still is his hero. I have caught him playing video games online with my ex multiple times, which honestly melts my heart. It is so cute to know that he still looks after my little brother. All my life fell apart 7 weeks ago. It was my little brother's birthday and we were getting the house ready for his party, which was the next morning. My ex's mom and him helped us to get everything ready. My dad joined us a little later as it was his friend's party. My dad showed up a bit drunk. He is the kind of guy who is unbearable when drunk. My ex-Wes and his mom are very close, as his dad left them when he was 3 years old. Added to the fact that he is an only child, he comes from a family with money, so they never struggled financially, but still had to grow up faster than the average child. He could sacrifice his own life for his mom. To this day I do not understand why, but my dad did not like the chair arrangement. My future in-law was doing it, and he kind of pushed her to the side a little too strong, and she fell to the ground, hitting her arm against a chair. My dad is a big guy, 6 feet 4, 250 pounds-ish, and my ex's mom is 5 feet 2, 115 pounds at most. It was not his intention to hurt her. My ex saw that and turned into someone else. I could see a violence on his eyes like never before. He punched my dad in the face and body slammed him to the ground. My dad ended with a broken nose and 3 broken ribs, and shouted, "Don't ever touch my mother. Do it again and I will leave you in a wheelchair." Piece of looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "This is over. Your parents can disrespect me, idgaff, but no one touches my mom." Then help his mom stand up and drove away. My world collapsed in seconds. I have not talked to my dad since that day. My mom and dad have apologized for what had occurred that night, but my ex will not even open my texts or pick up my calls. He kicked me out of his apartment. I feel like I am slowly dying every day. I feel physical pain and hate my dad for doing that. What should I do? I cannot live without him. He means the world to me. TLDR. My fiance broke up with me because my dad accidentally pushed his mom when he was drunk. You can start by not calling this incident an accident. He was drunk. He is big. He pushed the woman instead of asking her to move. This is not accidentally pushing. Do not try to reach out to your ex until you realize that. I don't know. Dude. Your father showed up drunk to a 9-year-old's birthday party and then pushed a small woman half his size over with force to make her fall down and hurt her arm? Oh, and he already disliked the family because of racism? None of this is normal. You don't accidentally knock another person to the floor like that unless maybe there was some kind of commotion. They were setting up chairs. There's no way he accidentally knocked a woman to the floor. And after the way the family had treated him and his family, this was obviously a last straw. I'm sorry that you got the blame for other people's actions, but this was an abnormal situation from the get-go. Maybe your father wanted to cause a problem. Maybe your ex was looking for a way out. I don't know. Maybe he felt that this was just going to keep being an issue. Might keep escalating and just wanted it to end. As for what you can do, honestly, nothing. If he won't take your calls, that's it. You can't keep blowing up his phone. You can't just go to his house and demand he talk to you, because that won't help. Did you ever try to stand up for him before? He sounds done. You need to see that this wasn't an accident and it was a bad situation for him to be in. And maybe for you too if he is so quick to become violent. Imagine this from his perspective. Your father, the man who's treated him with nothing but disrespect from day one, arrives late and intoxicated to his own son's birthday party, and then instead of just asking this woman he's not even on good terms with to move, he attempts to move her with force. Maybe he didn't mean to knock her over, but he still made contact with her. Of course your ex felt it was intentional. Why wouldn't he? I don't really know how you can get him back. He didn't passively say he needed time to think. He publicly dumped you with a lot of conviction. It doesn't sound like there's any doubt in his mind that he's 110% done. The only thing I can see making a difference going forward is you cutting ties with your father at the least, so your ex won't ever have to deal with them in the future. Or your father apologizing to him in person. Short of that, I think you're shit out of luck. You're 28 years old. You need to gain some perspective and stop making excuses for your family's behavior. I know it's easier and it leads to less confrontation in your daily life. But I can't imagine your ex as having been anything but miserable given the context of the situation in your post and comments. You're focusing on yourself. But you have to understand how toxic that environment must have been for your ex, and to see his mother hurt by your father? His violence was an overreaction, but not one that was unwarranted. This is going to suck very, very badly for both of you. You both very clearly had your lives entangled with one another, and he very obviously loved you enough to put up with this for years, including your family attempting to motivate you to break up with him. I guarantee you he's hurting. But it's best for him to not be in this situation anymore. Maybe take solace in that as you try to pick up the pieces and move on. But make absolutely no mistakes. You need to move on. Your ex knows where to reach you should he choose to. But I wouldn't bet on it. And for the love of God, leave his poor mother alone. You owed her an apology and you gave one. You're not owed forgiveness. Let's see. Drunk. Big man who hates this person and everyone from their country wants to do some last-minute furniture arrangement with somebody in the way. Obviously he meant no harm because he's just a big softie who happens to be a fan of interior decoration. Sounds like your ex dodged a bullet. This might not be what you want to hear, but your fiance's reaction was completely correct. This can't just be written off as an accident. Firstly, you brushed off your parents' prejudice as, that's just how they are. After his mother fell to the floor due to the strong shove of a drunk man double her size, it only makes sense that this was his final breaking point. I'm not saying he was correct to beat the shit out of your dad. That was unquestionably wrong. But he is absolutely justified in leaving this relationship, as your dad assaulted his mother unprovoked. There isn't anything you can do to salvage this relationship at the moment. So don't contact him for now, please. I also had a pretty significant question. Did you ever stand up for him? Consistently. As your parents disrespected him throughout your relationship? It's okay to type the word fully like this. They are stupid and racist. Your dad messed with the wrong person. And now you are using his drunkenness to excuse his violent behavior towards a woman half his size. There was no accidental pushing. He saw the work she'd put in, disliked it, and decided to shove her aside. You and your family keep promoting this narrative that they hate your ex because someone else cheated, blah blah blah. That's bullshit. They hate him because they are prejudiced and racist, and they found this convenient reason to perpetuate hate against him. He's better off without your family in his and his mother's life. Leave him alone. Frankly, I'm on your ex's side here. Anyone shoves my mom, I would see red. I think this is true for most men. So your alcoholic father destroyed your relationship. You're not going to get your ex back. That ship has sailed. What matters now is whether you will allow your father to fuck up any future relationship you may have. Getting punched in the face after shoving someone's loved one to the ground is honestly pretty natural. Yeah, and? Fuck your dad. He did that intentionally. He's a prick and a bully. Deserved it all. Good on your ex for dropping him. Guy's got a backbone. It's over, move on. Kind of pushed her to the side a little. You're delusional if you think that push was little. She fell. That's disrespectful and obviously done on purpose. He's so big and his little push was obviously painful to the lady because his little is a lot for someone under 6 feet. Stop trying to defend them by using words like kind of, a little, by mistake, unintentional. He's clearly racist and disrespectful. Also, who shows up to their own child's birthday party drunk? You have excused your parents' racism for years. And now you're excusing your dad drunkenly assaulting your ex-fiance's mother. He ended things because this was never going to change. You were obviously never going to choose him over your racist parents. He's done with their racist bullshit. And he's done with you excusing their racist bullshit. You're going to have to learn to live without him. Because it's over. I suggest getting yourself into therapy to learn how to move on with this. And how to draw boundaries with your racist parents. I'd leave you too if I was him, lol. Making excuses for your parents to be racist and belligerent. I have been drunk multiple times and I have never accidentally pushed anyone over. Cut off your family and be with your ex, or be with your family and leave your ex alone. It's also so selfish of you have him and his mom around your racist parents. Glad he finally got a backbone. You write this like the victim, but you really aren't. I'm sure this isn't the first toxic situation your dad has put you and your ex through. It's just the last. What advice do you want here? It's done. That decision was made and you don't get a say. There's no action for you to take except to move on. Yeah, I can see why he broke up with you. You chose your disrespectful racist parents over your partner. He saw it wasn't going to get any better. You were always going to defend your parents. He decided that he doesn't need a relationship where he and his family are disrespected. This is a complicated situation. I think that you need to give your ex time. Instead of thinking about your own situation and feelings. Which is complicated as well and legitimate. Think about his. He was disrespected many times by your parents and he always pushed it aside. His own dad also left him. And here your dad is pushing his mother down. I mean, come on. Of course he would be finished with the whole thing. Including you. Because it's not like you're innocent in the matter. You never stopped your parents from disrespecting him or defended him before this incident. I also do not think it was an accident. By the way you described it, pushing someone aside is not an accident. Nonetheless, give him time. You trying to contact him is just making him feel like you don't understand why he's mad. Say nothing and let him have his time. It might take months for him to get over it. I think it's a good sign that he's still playing with your brother. It means he still cares and emo. It means that he will contact you again one day. But you really have to be strong and not contact him first. Show him that you understand him. Honestly, I know others are saying the violence was out of hand, but I think his reaction to defend his mom was appropriate. Like, I'm not happy your dad got beat up and prefer he didn't, but I also don't blame him for beating the shit out of someone who hurt their mom. That's a pretty human reaction. Your dad fucked around and found out. All you can do at this point is talk to your parents and set some boundaries so this shit doesn't happen again with the next one. 'Cause I don't think he's gonna take you back. I sure as hell wouldn't. Being with someone means being with their family, and sorry, but yours got problems. Your dad is a drunk, racist, petulant asshole. Instead of asking your ex's mom to move, he just pushed and shoved and flailed around like a beached walrus. If this were the only shitty, rude thing your dad had done, I'd have less sympathy for your ex-fiance. However, you dad chose to get sloppy drunk beforehand, oblige someone else to drive him around, and chose to make a scene. It wasn't simply an accident. Did your ex overreact? Yes. Definitely. He should have just grabbed his mom and said he was leaving. On the other hand, your dad doesn't sound like the type to apologize for any given thing. So maybe your ex was just sick and tired of your dad's constant low-level hostility and aggressiveness.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.